Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to my all participant. I again welcome you all of you to the 6 days workshop in machine learning and artificial intelligence organized by Chalapati Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today is our last day of the workshop and today we are going to see the two projects. One project is on artificial neural network and one project is on the convolutional neural network. I have selected the same topic and I am going to run the same topic with the help of two approaches, artificial neural network and convolutional neural network. So I hope that you people are enjoying the overall session of the 6 days workshop. And in the 6 days workshop, our main objective was the main guideline what we want to learn in the world of machine learning, deep learning and AI. And step wise, suppose we are learning all the concept. So we are having the very quality knowledge in future and surely you will get a job in future in the company. So from the last 3 days, we have gone through the deep learning concept. In the deep learning concept, we have gone through many process. And this our workshop is organized in association with the Keyway Research, which is providing the number of facility to the upcoming generation in skill development. So we have gone through the many concept of deep learning, motivation behind the deep learning. After that, the relationship between machine learning, deep learning, and AI, types of machine learning. Then these are the relationship between machine learning, deep learning, and AI. After that, we have gone through the what are the elements of AI, computer vision, NLP, and robotics, and so on. We have gone through the definition of machine learning, deep learning. We have gone through the demand of AI because of the huge volume of data available in the company. After that, we have gone through the types of AI, weak AI, strong AI, and super intelligence AI. After that, we have gone through the meaning of deep learning, that is having the motivations from human brain. And we have gone through the drawback of machine learning. And that drawback has been avoided with the help of deep learning process. And so many processes we have gone through, and these are the deep learning main part, that it is inspired from the human brain. And from the human brain, one neuron is there, and from the neuron we have established or we have developed the one artificial neural network on the basis of one biological neuron. So we have gone through all the concept in a very stepwise, and finally we came to know that on the basis of one perceptron we are making one artificial neural network. We have gone through the working of one perceptron. On the basis of perceptron, the drawback of perceptron is a single neuron cannot work overall process. Hence, the perceptron cannot handle the complex project. So in order to avoid this problem, we are using the multi-layer perceptron. And this is a multi-layer perceptron. In the multi-layer perceptron, three layers are compulsory: input layer, middle layer, and output layer. We have gone through this process. We have gone through the process of forward propagation and backward propagation, and so on. And finally, we came to know that there are the two types of modeling, sequential and functional. Sequential modeling is all the layer is connected to the next layer. Then the one layer is connected to the next layer. That is a sequential modeling. And in the functional modeling, we are having the feedback policy. So this is a functional modeling. So all this process we have gone through, and in that we have gone through that major architectures of deep learning algorithm. One is the unsupervised pre-trained network, convolutional neural network, recurrent neural network, and recursive neural network. Today our focus is on convolutional neural network, which is basically used for all the project those who are belonging to the world of images and video. So that is a convolutional neural network. Convolutional neural network is a part of ANN, that is artificial neural network. The only difference between CNN and ANN is that in the ANN we are having the three layer: input layer, hidden layer. Hidden layer may be anyone that is decided by user, and output layer. But in the field of convolutional neural network, we are also having the same three layer: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. But in the world of convolutional neural network, hidden layer are these three types. In the hidden layer, you are finding these three words. First word is convolutional layer, second word is pooling layer, and the third word is fully connected layer. So CNN is the part of ANN. In the ANN, we are having input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. In the CNN also, you are having input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. But that hidden layer are this layer. This is the compulsory part of convolutional neural network. You are having the three hidden layers in the convolutional neural network. And the name of these three hidden layer are convolutional layer, pooling layer, and fully connected layer. So what is the meaning of convolutional layer? Whenever we are giving the input to the CNN architecture in terms of images, video, and so on. So the main part of convolutional neural network is that, or convolutional layer is that, extracting the features from the images with the help of filter process. Please note down. If anyone is asking you what is the meaning of convolutional layer, so in the convolutional layer, our main focus is to extract the features from the images with the help of filtering process. Okay, and all images is made of pixel. Every pixel is having in the value in the range of 0 to 255. So image processing, if you heard this name image processing, in the image processing, images is having so many processes. That means feature extraction, age detection, and so on. And all processes are totally dependent on the value of pixels. So what we are doing in the convolutional layer, with the value of pixels, we are applying the filter, and on the basis of that filtering process, we are extracting the features from the images. That is the main responsibility of convolutional layer. So please note down convolutional layer responsibility. After that, what we are doing? Pooling layer. Whenever the output of convolutional layer is given to pooling layer, so pooling layer is very famous in order to reduce the computational process in the world of deep learning. Why? Because pooling layer is reducing the image size. Pooling layer is reducing the size of image to the half. That is reducing or downsampling the process. That is the meaning of pooling layer. Always remember, pooling layer means reducing the image size. And there are three types of pooling: max pooling, average pooling, and sum pooling. Although these words, suppose you are not understanding, because it is not possible to learn the convolutional neural network within 20 minutes. But I am saying you, whenever you are going to learn the convolutional neural network, these three layers are going to encounter you. That are the convolutional layer, pooling layer, and flatten layer. So convolutional layer main meaning is that extracting the important features from the images with the help of filter process. Main advantage of pooling layer is that we are reducing the size of image. Why there is a need of reducing size of image? When images is having the very high features, at that time, if we are processing the high features, so our computational processing power required more. It will take more time. So in order to reduce that features, we are using the pooling layer. Okay, so pooling layer is reducing the size of images nearly to half. And there are three types of pooling: max pooling, average pooling, and sum pooling. To understand the pooling layer, in this slide, one image is there. In that image, we are having the 4 by 4 pixel image, 4 by 4 pixel image. And suppose we have selected our filter size 2 by 2. So we are having 4 2 by 2 filter. Now, how this images is reduced to 4 by 4? So finally, so now let's check it. In this image, on the upper side, we are having one 2 by 2 filter having the values 12, 28, 12. That is a pixel value. And suppose if you are applying the 2 by 2 max pooling, so it is going to select the maximum value of the pixel from that 4 pixel, 12, 28, 12. Select the maximum value of pixel and give to the next reducing image. So you can observe on the right hand side 20 is written. Now in the next 2 by 2 filter, that is 30, 0, 2, 0. That is 4 value now. Select the maximum value, that is 30. Now passes to the next process, that is a 30 on the right hand side. So in this way, we are selecting the maximum value from that filter and we are processing forward. That is the meaning of max pooling. So in this way, we are reducing the size of pixel and size of images in the world of deep learning. After that, we are having the fully connected layer. Whenever we are reducing the size of pixel on the basis of pooling layer, then we are converting that pooling layer to the one single layer. So conversion of that pooling layer to the one single layer is called as a flattened layer, fully connected layer. And that flattened layer is then given to the output layer. So that is the convolutional neural network. In the convolutional neural network, your hidden layer are these three important compulsory part. And in the artificial neural network, these are not three layer. In the artificial neural network, just general layer we are using. So that is the difference between CNN and ANN. CNN is also having three layer: input layer, middle layer, and output layer. ANN is also having three layer: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. But in the CNN, hidden layer are these three, combination of these three. Convolutional layer, responsibility extracting the features from the images. Pooling layer, responsibility reducing the size of the images, that is reducing the features. Why? Because we want the process should be faster. Then after that, fully connected layer, conversion of pooling layer or whatever the previous layer is there, converting that all features into the single column, that is a fully connected layer. And that process then we are giving to the output layer. And finally, we are having such type of architecture. Whenever we are giving the images in the convolutional neural network, so we are having this hidden layer. That is, first is a convolutional layer. In the convolutional layer, it is extracting the features. Then it is giving to the pooling layer. pooling layer is reducing the size of image. Again, if we are giving to the convolutional layer, that is a research part. We can have n number of pooling layer and n number of convolutional layer in our hidden architecture. And finally, we are giving that overall process to the final layer, that is fully connected layer, which is converting the overall features into the single flattened layer. And that single flattened layer is given to the output for the prediction. This is the working of convolutional neural network. I have explained in the just very short overview. I haven't explained you the complete working, but I have explained you the responsibility of each layer, because it is not possible for me to explain the overall convolutional neural network, because it will take more than 3 hours and 4 hours of time. So on the basis of this convolutional neural network, we are going to do one project today. Okay, and I will also explaining the same project with the help of ANN also. So that project is, we are going to identifying or classifying the just opening. So we are going to classify the 10 fashion product with the help of ANN and CNN. This is our project, artificial neural network working for fashion MNIST classification prediction for 10 product category. We are having one data set of fashion MNIST data set. From that data set, there are 10 different product available. Now our aim is that we want to predict that 10 different product on the basis of the given data set. So in the fashion MNIST data set, we are having that 10 product, and these 10 product are these. These are the 10 product. In that fashion product, we are having t-shirt, we are having trousers, we are having pullover, dress, and so on. And we are having all these images available, and total number of images in this data set is 60,000. 60,000 images we are having by combining all the images of this 10 product. We are having 60,000 images of 28 by 28 grayscale image size. Always remember one thing, to work in the world of deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and suppose you are working on the project where image is your input. So first process, you need to check that all images should be of same size. Please note down, it is compulsory. The size of all the images in your data set should be same. Whatever the images size you are having, 28 by 28 or anyone, after that second process, you need to label your image. Each and every image is labeled. As you just remember in the supervised learning, I have explained you the Tom and Jerry images, one example. So here every images are labeled, that is output is written on that image. This image is of Tom, this image is of Jerry. So similarly in the world of deep learning, to work on any project on images, first and very first process is data preparation. You are collecting the images and you are making all the images in same size, and after that you are labeling the each image. This image is of this image is of this. So in this way we are having the 60,000 images of fashion MNIST data set, and in that total 60,000 images we are having 10 different fashion categories, and these are the 10 different fashion categories. Okay, first category is t-shirt, second category is trouser, and so on. And we have labeled all the images with the help of this process. That means label 0 is mean it is a t-shirt. Label 1 means it is a trouser. Label 2 means it is a pullover. Label 3 means it is a dress. So we have labeled that. Not we have, that means the person, those who have made this data set, they have labeled these images into this process. And finally we are having this data set, 10 different products in the fashion MNIST data set. So what is our major objective in this project? Our major objective in this project is that we are going to train artificial neural network with these images, and finally when the neural network got trained with the help of these images and fashion product, our main aim is that we want to predict the 10 fashion product with the help of ANN architecture. That is our main process. So what we will do, as I already told you, that first process is we want to prepare the data. But one process is again here in the world of deep learning and machine learning, this data is ready-made available to us. We don't need to prepare this data. This data is ready-made available to us. So what we will do, we will run the overall process stepwise. I am going to explain this project in a very stepwise from the scratch, how it is working in the most efficient way. Here also parallelly same product, same project I am going to explain with the CNN. Right now my CNN is under training. You can observe here. I have selected this CNN algorithm. Now it is under training. See, it is running right now. So right now I'm explaining you ANN, then I will come on CNN. The CNN is also having the same process. We are going to predict the 10 different fashion category with the help of CNN and ANN both. So first I am going to explain you ANN. Now let's see the working of ANN in the most easy way. First of all, we are importing all the necessary library. That is import numpy, np, pandas, pd, matplotlib for the data visualization and so on. Just execute this cell. Now after executing this cell, we are processing further. That means we are again importing the TensorFlow and Keras library, which is useful for the deep learning world, because these are the two framework where TensorFlow is a high level mathematics library and the Keras is high level API. Under Keras, TensorFlow is working. So just import these two library. After importing these two library, if you want to check the version of Keras, just use this command, Keras dot underscore version underscore. Just execute this. So you will came to know the version of Keras. Similarly, you can check the version of TensorFlow. So I am using in my system this version of Keras, that is 2.2.4-TF, and this is the version of TensorFlow 1.14.0. So this we are using. Now to go ahead, it is very necessary to understand our data. So as I said, we are having the total 60,000 images. In that 60,000 images, we are having the 10 different category. What are 10 different category? These are the 10 different category: t-shirt, trouser, pullover. By combining all these images, we are having 60,000 images, and the size of all images is same, that is 28 by 28 grayscale images. And after that, what we are going to do, we are having the test images, that is 10,000 images. So that 10,000 images we are giving to the artificial neural network for prediction. So this is the data set which is having ready-made facility to us, and just directly we are downloading this data set with the help of further process. That means we are going to download this data set with the help of this Keras library. In the Keras library, we are having this data set ready-made available. So what we are going to do, with the help of this instruction, we are downloading the data set and we are giving to this variable fashion mnist, and finally we are going to give that fashion mnist dot load data set. That means we are giving the training and testing process. We are splitting the data into training and testing here itself. So don't need to take tension, don't need to download the dataset from anywhere and keep in the folder. Just directly download the dataset with the help of Keras library. So we are downloading this dataset with the help of Keras library, and after downloading, we are separating that data into training and testing process with the help of this instruction. Execute this cell. After executing, it will take some time. Star sign indicate that it will take some time. Now it is uploaded. Now we are ready with our data set. Now we have separated our data set into two categories: X-train and X-test, Y-train and Y-test. So it indicates that X-train and Y-train means what? X is called as the input, Y is called as the output. Remember, X is the input where all images are there, and Y is the output where it is written these images of this and these images of this. For example, if we are giving the images of any process, so these all are the Y output. This is the Y output. Which image is having which name? This is the Y, and images is as an input, that is X. So here we are splitting our entire 60,000 data set into two categories, that is training and testing. So in the training, we are having input output. Input name is X train and output name is Y train. Y train is having the name or label of that respective images. Similarly, we are having the test data set X test and Y test, that we are going to give to the algorithm for prediction. So that is the meaning of that. Now if you want to check the image number 0 in your data set, image number 0 of your data set, that is training image. So we are writing like this: X train full 10. So 10 is the 10th number images we are checking in your data set, 10th number image, and just execute this. So you will get that image. Just it will take some time for execution. Just wait for a second. Now our image will be available. This is the image. So at X train, 10th number image is this. Now if you want to check the which is that image, so you need to check the label of this image which is present in Y train. So again, I am writing here Y train 10, same number I am writing here 10, because I want to know which is this image. So when after executing this is giving the answer 0. So 0 is the label. So I want to check it, what is that 0? So I will go on the chart. So what is that 0? It's a t-shirt. It is a t-shirt. Now let's check it, that X train 10 is a t-shirt or not. Now let's check it. X train 10 is the t-shirt. Here it is a t-shirt, because it is here we are reading the images with the help of this instruction. What is that input image? And with the help of this instruction, same image label I am checking, that is a 0. So we have checked that is a t-shirt. Again, suppose I want to check the another image of the training data set. So I am writing here plt.imshow xtrain, and I am writing one index that is 0th number image. Can you please show? So after executing this cell, it will take some time for execution, and after that it is available. So I am reading the input data. After reading the input data, if I want to know what is the output of this data, so I will write down y train underscore full 0. So that is our output y label. After executing this, it is giving the answer 9. Now I want to check who is present at 9 number. So who is present, I will check it. So at 9 number, ankle boot is present. You can check it here. At 9 number, ankle boot is there. So we can check that image is of ankle boot or not. So let's check it. Yes, that image is looking like an ankle boot. This is the ankle boot. So in this way, we are just cross-checking that our input and output data set. Finally, again, last time we are checking one more image, plt.show. We are checking the image of for execution. Now this is available. Again, this image is of which label that we want to check. So we are giving the same y train 1. Remember, these both numbers should be same. You are reading the extra image at one index. So at one index only you are checking the output. What is the output of that image? So again, if you are executing this, it is giving the answer 0. That is a t-shirt. So in this way, we are checking first training and testing process. That means which image is of which, and after checking the overall process, we are going for the further process. So again, I am checking the image number 5 in your data set. After executing this process, I want to check that what is that image number 5. So image number 5 is 2. That is label 2. And in the label 2, what is present? Let's check it in the label 2 what is present. In the label 2, pullover is present. So it is pullover. That image is of pullover. So in this way, we are checking that X train and Y train labeling, how the label has been done in our training and testing data process. And after doing the overall process, right now we are getting the output in terms of label number. And if you want, output should be available in terms of name. So what we are giving? We are giving this name to the class names variable. Here we are giving all those 10 categories: t-shirt, trouser, pullover, dress, and coat to this variable class underscore name. And now if you want to check that all images with the name, then we can use this name class underscore name y train and 10. That means which is the image present at 10 index. So that is a t-shirt. Which is the image present at the again 10 process, that is a t-shirt. So see here, t-shirt is there. In the input at the 10 index, t-shirt is present, and I want to check that output y train which is present at 10 number. So it is giving the output t-shirt. So this is the t-shirt. So we are cross verifying with the help of names also. So in this way, after doing this process, this is called as a just visualization process. We are preparing our data. Now what I said, images is nothing but the pixel value. Always remember, image is made from the pixel. In this our data set, each and every images is of 28 by 28 pixel size. If you want to check one image pixel, so I am writing here x trend, and I am checking the image of 10 index in terms of pixel value. In terms of pixel value. So when I will execute this cell, so I am having this array that is a images pixel. That is a 10th number images there. That pixel value I am having, and 28 by 28. This is the row number 1. In this 28 pixels are available, and each pixel is having this value 0, 0, 0, 0, and so on, 11, 142, 200, 106. This is the grayscale pixel value which is ranging from 0 to 255. So in this way, I am checking the pixel value also of any particular images. In this array, it is an array of 28 by 28. This first selected portion is called as the first row. In this 28 pixels are there. Now this is called as the second row, and this is the pixel value of second row, and so on. So in this way, we can visualize the value of pixel in our images also. And finally, we are going for the further process. That means designing process. First, we are having all the data processing and everything. We are doing the data visualization and so on. Now, again, we need to do a normalization in our images. All the images is ranging from 0 to 255 as a pixel value. So normalization technique is useful to bring all the pixel value in the same range. So we are doing the normalization with the help of this process. All the training images is divided by 255 value, and all the testing images is divided by 255 value. That is called as a normalization. And normalization is done in order to bring all the pixel value in the same range. So after executing this, our overall processes get normalized now. All the training images and all the testing images get normalized. Normalization is used in order to do the process that all the pixels should be in the same range. After that, now finally we are splitting our data into training, testing and validation. First, we are splitting the data into training. Then we are splitting the data into validation set. This validation set data is very useful for hyperparameter tuning in the deep learning world. Hyperparameter tuning and evaluate the model on the basis of that. And then we are using the testing data set for the final prediction. So we are splitting our data set into training, validation and testing process. Now we are splitting that our X trained data set into validation, because previously we are having only training and testing data set here. In the previously we have split our data set into training and testing in this process, in this slide. Now what we are doing, our training data we are splitting into two parts, that is training and validation, with the help of this code. So we are splitting the data into training and validation, that is trained data is split into training and validation. Now we are splitting that process, and testing data is same as it is. Just execute this line. Now we are having now three types of data set: training, testing and validation. After that, you can just check the validation data. After executing this validation data, you can observe the value of all the pixel is in the same range, that is 0 point something or everything. So that is a normalization process we are executing. Now finally, now time came that after preparing the data set, we are creating our ANN architecture. ANN architecture, two types of ANN architecture: sequential API and functional API. We are going to use the sequential API. Now let's see how we are going to check the sequential API. Now we are following this step for creating any ANN or CNN architecture. Please note down. These are the steps we are following for designing any model in the world of deep learning. First of all, we are creating the model. Now let's create a model. How we are going to create a model? Now in this instruction is there, np.randomSeed. What is the meaning of this instruction? Whenever we are using this instruction and whenever we are running the code, after that same training and test split will be available. What is the meaning of that? Suppose if you are not using this instruction np.random_seed, and suppose you are running the algorithm right now doing the training and testing, so you are having the 100 sample for example. So when you will run the code, 100 sample will be split in the such a way that training portion is 80% and testing is 20% for example. So 80% data is going to training and 20% data is going for testing in one case. Again, suppose you run the algorithm same file again, in the next time different 80% data will be there to the training and different 20% data will be available for testing. So that is called as a random shuffling, 80-20%. If you want to avoid that, we are using the np.random_seed method, where by using this instruction, every time you are running the algorithm, then same set of example is going for training and same set of example is going for testing split. So that is the advantage. This is again interview question. Why we are using the np.randomSeed? Because by using the np.randomSeed, the algorithm is splitting the training and testing every time same data set, every time same. No, it will not change. Random sampling will not allowed in this process. So after that, we are going to design the model now. After executing this instruction, now let's check it. We are going to design our model, and how we are going to design our model in this way. That means we are going to create input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. That is called as a create a model. We are going to use the sequential model. So very first line we are using keras.models.sequential. After that we are creating first hidden layer. First hidden layer, that is called as an input layer. And input layer should have how many values? Now here input shape is 28 by 28 pixel. What is the meaning of this? How many neuron available at input layer? See, our images is of 28 by 28 size. If you multiply 28 by 28, it will be 764 or 784, I guess 784. That is the value. 28 multiplied by 28. So at the input layer, 784 neuron will be available. That is the meaning of this input layer. Again, I am repeating, your image size matters a lot. Whatever your image size is there, that number of neuron is available at the input layer. Please note down. If your image is of size 10 by 10, so total number of neuron available is 100 in the input layer. If your image is of size 4 by 4, So total number of neuron available in the input layer is 16. Okay. Similarly, in this our example, we are having the input size is 28 by 28. So in our input layer, there are total number of 784 pixels will be there, and that is this layer. We are adding this layer now. This is that layer. After that, we are using the first hidden layer. In the first hidden layer, we are writing here 300. So in the first hidden layer, we are having the 300 neuron, and the activation function we are using is the ReLU activation function. Similarly, we are adding the another hidden layer, that is with the help of this instruction model.eras. And in the second hidden layer, we are having the 100 neuron with the activation function ReLU. And finally, we are having the output layer. And in the output layer, we are using the 10 neuron. Again, here this 10 number is very important. Why 10? Because we want to predict the 10 classification. Here in our data set, out total 10, 0 to 9. That's what it is very important that in your output, the output neurons should be 10. Please note down. You cannot write down here 8 or any other random number. This 10 means you are having the 10 type of prediction available in your data set or in your problem statement, that you are adding your 10. And in the output layer, we are using the activation function softmax, because softmax is the activation function which is used to predict the probability of all possible outcome that we will check in our evaluation process. So in this way, we are creating our model, that is called as a ANN model, artificial neural network. So we have created ANN model now. After creating the model, we are going for a model summary. So this is called as a model summary. In this model summary, it is going to give layer wise trainable parameter. Layer wise trainable parameter. Layer wise trainable parameter means at the input layer, we are having total number of neuron is 784. So this is a 784, and that 784 neuron is given to the first hidden layer. Now in the first hidden layer, we are getting the 784 neuron. So you can parallelly think that in the first hidden layer, we have given the 300 neuron. 300 neuron in the first hidden layer. So what is the meaning of that? We are having the 300 weight and biases. So just multiply 784 into 300 plus 300. You will get this value. You will get this value because we are having 784 input neuron. Now we are multiplying with this 300 first hidden layer. 784 multiplied by 300, because there are total number of 784 weight will be associated, and it is get multiplied with 300. 784 multiplied by 300, you will get one number, and 300 biases also you want to add. So 784 multiplied by 300 plus 300, you will get this number. That is a total number of trainable parameter in the first hidden layer. So similarly, we are calculating overall process in this layer also. In this layer, this previous layer is having the 300 neuron. Now this hidden layer is having the 100 neuron. So 300 multiplied by 100 plus 100, you will get this number. In this way, we are calculating the total number of trainable parameter and non-trainable parameter, and we are getting this output. So model summary is going to give you the process of total number of trainable parameter and non-trainable parameter. And finally, you can check the weight and biases also in this process. Now you have created the model, you have created the hidden layer and output layer. And now by executing this instruction weight and biases, you are getting the total number of weights and biases associated with that. So we are checking the weight. Now here the weight is available. And at the input layer 1, first hidden layer, here I am writing here 1. So at the 1 hidden layer, how many weights are associated, we can check here. So this is the weight shape as the first hidden layer. This is the weight shape we are checking with the help of first hidden layer. At the first hidden layer, we are having 784, that is called as the input layer neuron. And in the first hidden layer, we are having 300 neuron. So total number of weight will be the 784 multiplied by 300. Similarly, we are having the total number of biases. So total number of biases will be 300, because one biases we are adding to each neuron. So we are having this total number of 300 biases. We can check the shape also with the help of this process. Biases dot shape. So we are having the 300 biases at the first hidden layer. So in this way, we can check the weight and biases also. And finally, we are going for the further process, that is model compilation. What do you mean by model compilation? Model compile is used to set the learning parameter, that by after executing my code, what should be my loss, what should be my evaluation metrics, and so on. That we are giving at the model compilation method. And here we are going to judge our model on the basis of accuracy, because always remember, if you are doing the project of classification, always remember one thing, your evaluation metrics are accuracy. If you are running the regression algorithm or regression as a any type of problem statement, then evaluation metrics will be losses. Okay, evaluation metrics will be lost. So now we are doing the model compilation. After running the model compilation, it will check the overall process in terms of user process. So it is running right now, model compilation. It will take some time to run. And after that, we are going to feed the model. That is training here. So how we are going to feed the model? We are giving the training and testing data set. And again, we are giving the validation data set here also. That means on the basis of this model evaluation and model compilation, we are going to check our validation data set for the further processing. And our model is getting the training for the X train and Y train. So I am not going to run this cell because it will take so much time for training. So just I am showing that after training in the 30 epoch, we are having the 30 output in this fashion. That means if the output number one you can observe, in the output number one you are getting the training loss is 72, training accuracy is 76, validation loss is 50, and validation accuracy is 83. So that is the epoch number one, and we are running the 30 epoch. So after running the 30 epoch, we are getting the 30 training accuracy, validation accuracy, training loss, and validation loss. And finally, we came to know that finally, after the 30 epoch, we are having the loss of 0.22. We are having the 90% that is training accuracy. We are having the validation loss of 30%, and our validation accuracy is 89. So in this way, our model is trained now. And after that, if you want to check the parameter of our model on which basis it is trained, so we are running this model history parameter. After running this model history parameter, this is the our parameter. Our model has been trained, and now we are ready for the prediction. This model history is the same which I have run in the before. Now we are going for the prediction process, that is evaluate the model. Now here we are going to evaluate the model on the testing data set. After running this instruction, we have evaluate the model in our text data set. We are having 10,000 images. So we have checked the 10,000 images, and we are getting this accuracy, 88% testing accuracy and 33% losses we are getting. So what is the meaning of this? For example, if you are having the 10 example in your testing data set, 10, and you are giving the 10 example to the algorithm or model for prediction, model is going to give the 10 output because 10 input, so 10 output is for prediction. In the output, whatever the 10 prediction we are having, you can check. Out of 10, you came to know that 8 prediction are right, 8 prediction are correct. So you are going to check the accuracy. How you are going to check the accuracy? 8 divided by 10, so 80% accuracy, and loss is 20%. So that is this process. That means out of 10,000 images, we are getting 88% images correct prediction. That is that accuracy, and that is the loss for this process. So in this way, we are checking the evaluation of matrix. Now finally, we want to predict the process that our model is predicting the images right or wrong. Now let's check this process. Now what we are giving, with the help of testing images, we are having 10,000 images, but we are not giving the 10,000 images. We are giving the 3 images to predict. We are giving the 3 images for prediction, and we are giving these 3 images to this variable x underscore new. And after that 3 images is available in this variable, now we are going to predict that process with the help of this instruction, model.predict x new. X new is having the 3 images right now. And when we are going to predict that, we are getting the these 3 output in terms of 10 values. First output is this. This is the 10 probability because we have used the softmax activation function at the output. So this is the 10 probabilities we are getting at the first prediction. And in this all probability, you can note down this last probability is higher, that is 0.97. Okay, so it indicates that that image is 0.97 belong to the last category, that is in this our data set. Last category is what? Let's check it. That last category is this ankle boot. Last category is ankle boot. 9th number is ankle boot because probability of last data set is higher. Here probability of last data set is higher in our prediction, so that is called as an ankle boot. Okay, now we are going to check that also. In this second prediction, again 10 probabilities are available, and the probability of third number is higher, 0.98. Third number, who is that third number? That we will check it. In the third number, who is available? In the third number, pullover is available. Pullover. So that is pullover image. That is predicting on the basis of number. That's what I'm telling you. Deep learning and machine learning is the complete mathematical process. We want to completely play with mathematics. Machine learning and deep learning only understand number. And in terms of number, they are giving the output. And in the last third prediction, we are having the 10 probabilities. And out of that 10 probability, second probability is having directly 1. So that means that class belong to one class. Now, whatever the prediction we are doing here in terms of probability, now if you want to check that prediction in terms of classes name, so we are doing that also. Here, this prediction in terms of probability. Now, if you want to do a same prediction in terms of classes, we are running this instruction and we are having that classes in 921. Here, last ninth number is having higher probability, so see 9 classes available. Here, second class is having the higher probability, so see the second number is written. And here, one class is having the higher probability, 1 is written. And if you want to check the name of this 921, so see your name is written ankle boot, pullover, and trouser. So that is the correct prediction our model is doing. So it indicates that our model is working very perfectly. We are doing the right prediction. And on the basis of that, finally, in terms of visualization, if you want to predict, your X test 0 is this ankle boot. Then your X test 1 is that pullover. And finally, if it is available for X test 2, that is hangover. So in this way, we are doing the testing and training and overall evaluation of the matrix using ANN portion. I am again repeating, if you are not understanding any process, don't worry. Because I have this project we are doing in the company and it takes us to complete this project in the 6 month of time and 7 month of time when we are doing actual real project. And I am explaining our 6 month overall duration within 20 minutes to you people in a very fast way. So don't take tension if you are not understanding also, but just remember one thing, how we are going to design the model, how we are going to do the model compilation, how we are going to give the number of input parameter while designing, how we are giving the total number of neuron activation function and so on. So the takeaway of this process is that always remember one thing, whenever in the hidden layer if you want to give the activation function, so majority time ReLU you can give activation function at the hidden layer. Always remember one thing. And to designing the ANN architecture, always take a precaution in the input layer. Input layer is totally dependent on number of features in the input, and take the precaution by giving the number of neuron in the output layer, because in the output you are giving the neuron how many classification you are doing in your problem statement. So that precaution you have to take it. So in this way we are running the ANN algorithm. Same process I am going to explain with the help of CNN algorithm, that is called as a convolutional neural network. Okay, convolutional neural network. So again we are importing the essential library. We are importing the TensorFlow and Keras. I am not going to run this because it will take so much time. And same thing, we are having the same fashion images of 60,000 data set, that is training, and 10,000 data set for testing. And all this same fashion label is available with us, that is t-shirt, trouser, and so on. Now in this project, we are going to apply CNN instead of ANN. What will be the difference in the CNN and ANN? I already told you the difference is in the hidden layer. In the ANN, we are just using the normal hidden layers, but in the CNN, we are going to use the convolutional layer, pooling layer, and fully collected layer. Now let's check how we are going to use it. Now initially, same process, we are importing the data from Keras library, that is keras.dataset fashion.mnist, and after importing the dataset, we are dividing the dataset into training and testing, same process. Same, we are giving the name of classes to all these 10 categories with the help of this instruction, that is t-shirt and so on. And finally, if we are doing the reshape of all the dataset into 28 by 28 images, that is size of images. If you are having any doubt, for example, if your images is not of all same size, you can use this instruction. You can reshape all the images with the help of this instruction. X train images is reshaped into 60,000 images are there in training data set. That's why it is 60,000 number is written here. And we are going to reshape all the images into 28 by 28. And one is called as a grayscale image. If you are finding here the number 3 is written, if you are doing any project in future, and if your 3 number is written, so it indicates that that is a color image. Red, green, blue, that is a color image. Here we are writing 1 only because all the images which we are downloading or we are uploading from this Keras library, it is grayscale image. That is one here. Similarly, we are going to reshape all the testing data set. In the testing data set, we are having 10,000 images. We are reshaping into 28 by 28 size, and same in the testing data set also we are having grayscale image. That's why it is written one here. So after executing this, all the images will be available in 28 by 28 size. Now finally we are going to do a data normalization, which we have did the ANN project also. Data normalization means we are dividing every pixel value by 255, so that we are bringing the all the range of the pixels into the same range. That is the meaning of normalization. And after executing this process, your all training images and testing images get normalized. And now finally we are splitting our data set into validation set. Training and testing is already splitted before. Now what we are going to do, from training data set we are creating validation data set, and we are giving this overall process with the help of this instruction. That training data set is split into validation also, and testing data set is as it is, because in the testing we are having the 10,000 images. Now after this process we are going to design this model designing. So up to this process ANN and CNN is same. Up to this process ANN and CNN is same. Now we are going for model designing. Same process what I said, whenever we are designing any architecture, follow these steps. First, model creation, then model compilation, then train the model, then evaluate the model and do the prediction. Now we are going to create our model. After that same process, here we are creating one instruction, that is np.randomSeed. That means by using this instruction, every time whenever we are running the code, so same training and testing split will be available. That is the intention of np.random.seed. After that, we are going to create this architecture in the convolutional neural network. This is the architecture we have to create. In this architecture, please note down, input layer is there, input layer, output layer is there. In between input and output layer, see which layers are present. As I told you, in the CNN, we are going to use convolutional layer, pooling layer, and a flattened layer. And that is dependent on the user only. How many convolutional layer you want to use, how many pooling layer you want to use, that is decided by user only. So it is a research part. In between input and output layer, if you are designing the CNN convolutional neural network, then number of layers which is used here is a research part. You can do anything here. So that's what in the company, many company are making their own architecture. So that is the meaning here. So first part is convolutional layer. The meaning of convolutional layer is extracting the features from the images. After that, pooling layer we are using, that is downsize the images. And after that pooling layer, we are converting to the flattened layer in the single process. And finally, we are giving the output layer. This overall process we are giving to output layer. Now let's check it how we are designing this process. Now we are designing this process with the help of this. We are going to design the sequential model. Hence, we are writing here keras.model.sequential. Finally, we are going to design our architecture according to this process. That means this process. First is the input layer. Input layer size is 28 by 28 by 1. What is the meaning of this? 28 by 28 is the size of images, and 1 means this is a grayscale image. Now we are giving here. That means with the help of this instruction, model.add keras.convolutional 2D. In the convolutional 2D, we are creating this layer, and this layer is getting the input from input layer. Now we are writing that here. That means we are getting from the input. See here, we are writing here input shape as it is, which is written here 28 by 28 by 1. So we are writing 28 by 28 by 1. This input is getting and given to the convolutional layer, first convolutional layer. So see here, we are creating this convolutional layer. Here it is written con 2D. And in this convolutional neural network, we are using these parameters, that is filter size, kernel size, stride, padding, and so on. And here we are using the activation function as a ReLU. So here input layer is given to convolutional layer, that we are writing here. And in our architecture, after convolutional neural network, which layer is there? Pooling layer is there, pooling. So we are going to write down the pooling layer after that. Now let's check it. See here, we are writing the pooling layer. After the con 2D, we are writing the pooling layer of 2 by 2. So this is the pooling layer. After pooling layer, what we are writing? Flatten layer. See, flatten is written. So see in our code, we are writing model.add flatten. So flatten is written. After flatten layer, see dense layer 1 is written of 300 neuron. So here we are creating the dense layer. See here it is written dense layer. And again after the dense layer 1, second dense layer is there. So we are writing here second dense layer. And finally, that is given to the output layer having the 10 neuron. Why the number 10 is written? Number 10 is written because we are having in the output 10 categories. So that's what we are writing in the output layer. Here is this output layer having the 10 number of neurons, and in the output layer activation function changes. That is a softmax. That's what I am telling you repetitive time, that in the output your activation function might be sigmoid if you are having only two prediction, either true and false and binary classification. And if you are having more than two prediction, then you can go for softmax, that is a probability prediction. So that you are going to use in the output. So in this way, we can say that we are designing our algorithm. So we have designed here CNN right now. In the ANN, these layers are not available. In the ANN, only dense layers are there. But in CNN, we are having this layer, which is very useful for image pre-processing project and video pre-processing, anything, because videos is nothing but sequence of images. Similarly, we are having the model summary, which I explained in ANN. Model summary is giving you the information layer wise, how many trainable parameters are available, and finally, it is giving the total number of trainable parameter in our network. What do you mean by trainable parameter? Weight and the biases. Weight and biases are the trainable parameter. After that process, after doing the model summary, we are going to do the model compilation. As I said, what is model compilation? Model compilation is used to set learning processes. And what is that learning processes? After executing our program, what should be the evaluation metrics, what should be the loss, what should be the optimizer, so that we are doing in the model compilation. That means on this parameter we are judging model. So that is model compilation. And after running this model compilation, finally you are ready for training the model. So this is the model training here. Today when I open my laptop at 10 a.m. at 10:30 I have started training. So at 12 it got trained. So you can think that in my laptop it get 1.5 year times to train. So here model training is taking the lots of time in the deep learning algorithm. So this is the model training, and training is always in the training data set. Always remember, in the training data set, and in the validation data set we are doing the hyperparameter training and we are getting the output. So in this way, we are doing the process. Either it is the machine learning world or the deep learning world, wherever you will find this instruction model.fit. That fit indicate that training is going on. Machine is learning from that. So that is a training process. And after training process, you are ready for evaluation. What is that evaluation? That means the testing data set, you are having the 10,000 sample. We are giving the 10,000 sample to our model, and model is evaluating the 10,000 sample, and 10,000 output model is giving. So out of that 10,000 sample, your 89% accuracy you are getting. That means 89% your model is predicting the right process. Now same thing what we are doing, we are doing the prediction. 10,000 images are available. We are not giving the prediction for 10,000 images. We are checking for only 3 images. So we are writing these 3 images in this term, and we are giving to this variable. And again, we are doing the prediction here. So we are having the prediction available in this fashion, 9 to 1. That means first images is of that ankle bolt. Second images is of that whatever the label is available at second layer. That is this label. Second layer pullover is there, so that is a pullover. So in this way we are doing the processes in the company, and finally we are doing the prediction, and in the prediction you are getting these types of answer. So in this way we are working in the company in the world of deep learning, machine learning and AI. Here I have explained this process very fast to you, because explaining the two project within 1 hour of time is very quite challenging for me. I have explained the project just showing the significance of that, but it does not mean that I have explained the project in the most efficient way because of time limitation. But yeah, I tried my level best to explain you what is about each process, how to create a model, how to evaluate the model, what is the meaning of model compilation, what is the meaning of overall process, which things should important, that I have completely given to you. Whenever you are working on any images project, always remember size of the images should be same. You cannot give model a different size of images. That is a part of data preparation in the world of deep learning. Your images should be labeled. Your images should be of good quality. And after that, you are going to do a data pre-processing, which I have explained you. Data pre-processing means what? That means normalizing the data. Normalization is very important. Normalization meaning is very important in the world of machine learning and deep learning. That is bringing the data set into the same range. For example, one example I would like to give you. Let's take a very easy example. 2000 meter and 2 kilometer. 2000 meter and 2 kilometer is one of the same thing. Okay, but in terms of machine, it is not same. Machine is given importance to the magnitude, not to the unit. 2000 meter and 2 kilometer. Kilometer and minute, meter is the unit. But machine learning, deep learning don't understand unit. Machine learning, deep learning understand magnitude of number. So 2000 meter and 2 kilometer, if you give to the machine, machine will give importance to the 2000 meter because it is highest number. So what is happening? Whenever 2000 meter and 2 kilometers given to machine, both are same, but machine is giving important to 2000 meter, we can say that machine is biased to magnitude. So this should not be happen. Many a time it is possible that the variable which is having the less magnitude is also very important for your analysis, but machine is giving importance to higher magnitude. This should not be happen. In order to avoid that problem, we are doing data normalization. That means we are bringing the overall data into the same range so that machine should not be biased to anywhere. That is the meaning of data normalization. Okay, so that thing we have gone through. So this is a very easy process according to me. Designing the artificial neural network and designing the CNN is very easy. Just follow the stepwise process. What things should be considered for designing, what things should not be considered for the designing process, and train the process in the most easy way. So in this process, if you follow this project, you can add in your profile also, because this is a very big project I have explained you in a very less amount of time. Because explaining this project again, as I said, it required me a lot of time, but I explain this project in the most easy way and in the given possible time. So this is the project we have gone through today. The main intention of this project is to show you the difference between ANN and CNN. ANN and CNN for the data preparation is the same, but during the architecture designing, CNN is different. This is CNN. In the CNN, hidden layers are convolutional layer, pooling layer, and dense layer. But in the ANN, hidden layer are the normal hidden layer. That is this. Okay, if you see the architecture designing of hidden layer, only dense layer we are adding here. See the dense layer. Only dense and flattened layer are available. That is a normal ANN. Okay, that is a normal ANN, and the CNN, this process is there. So in this way, we are designing the different architecture in the world of deep learning, machine learning, and we are enjoying the facility. If we are giving the video input to the any architecture, then video is finally nothing but a sequence of images, and images is nothing but made from pixel. Every images is having the pixel value, and that pixel value is very important for us. So that depending on that pixel value, we are doing the image pre-processing. We are finding the features. Convolutional layer is very important for finding the important features from the data set. One more important news or important information I would like to give you. The majority time, the training the deep learning with the help of convolutional layer, in this majority time is going for this layer, that is convolutional layer. In this also, in the overall architecture, majority time is going for training into convolutional layer, not for pooling layer. Because in the convolutional layer, we are going to extracting the important features, and majority of time of our deep learning training is going on this layer, convolutional layer, because here we are extracting the features. Then pooling layer is very fast because we are reducing the image size, and then it is going forward. So that is the overall meaning of this deep learning and AI world. So this is the our overall workshop. That means from the last 6 days, we have gone through the so many concepts. We have started from directly the machine learning, different types of machine learning. After that, we have gone through the process that in the machine learning, how different algorithms are working. We have seen the one baby step project in the machine learning, that is house prediction. How is machine learning from the past data and predicting for future data. After that, we have gone through the SVM algorithm, and we have seen one project called Movies Award Prediction of SVM algorithm. Then we have started deep learning, and in the deep learning, we have gone through the real meaning of deep learning. Then we have gone through the yesterday one project of breast cancer prediction using ANN architecture. Today we have gone through the two projects, one with the help of CNN and one with the help of ANN. So in this way, we are working into the world of deep learning, and the total number of time required to learn the artificial intelligence is minimum 1.5 years. You can imagine, minimum 1.5 years it will take to learn the AI technology. This is not a 2020 cricket match. That means within a 1 hour of project explanation and you are writing in a resume that you are knowing ANN. Don't do that. Just understand ANN working mathematically. Understand what is the working of activation function. Understand the working of each and layer in a very efficient way. Then we can go for writing in your resume that you are having the knowledge of this overall process. So what is the overall my intention to you people is that learn the overall process in the most quality. Don't keep any formula in your mind that just by learning 2 month duration of course of data science, machine learning and AI, and you are expecting the job in the market by doing any small project and without knowing the mathematical aspect behind the scene. This is the more highest mistake. That means majority of the participant is doing this mistake only in the market, just expecting of learning AI technology in 3 months and after that doing some project without having the better understanding of the project, and they are applying for the job, and at the end of the day they are complaining that we are not getting job. So if you are following this process you will not get a job. Okay, so do a smart planning. This is the roadmap I am sharing from the last 3 days. Because why? My total intention is that how many participants, those who are watching this video, you should follow this roadmap, because if you are following this roadmap you will surely going to become a quality AI engineer. Take your own time and follow the overall process. So that's the about overall workshop. If you want to reach me, I will be very happy to solve you. I will be very happy to guide you in future how to learn the machine learning, deep learning and AI. Okay. And in the overall process, quality approach will be there. I have found so many teams, those who are working under me, those who are following my guidelines, and they are doing their level best in the company. So that's the overall process about this overall workshop. I am really thankful to the college management for organizing this workshop. And in this workshop, I tried my level best to give the roadmap. The major objective of this workshop is we have learned how to go ahead with the help of machine learning, what parameters are available in the machine learning, that 4 algorithms are available. You want to learn that 4 algorithm mathematically, then do the project on 4 algorithm, then enter into the world of deep learning and do all the processes in the most sequence way. Understand all the process mathematically. Because why I am repeating the same word mathematics, because one slogan is there: if AI is the name of person, then mathematics is the soul of that person. Okay, mathematics is the soul of that person. So you can understanding behind the curtain, mathematics is playing the game. So this is the overall process I want to say you people, and I will be very happy to solve your doubt. Now I am open for the doubt solving session. Now I am requesting organizer, if you are having any doubt for any participant, so please ask.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful session for the past 6 days. So now, if anyone have doubts, you please post your doubts in the chat box. I am enabling the chat box.